Democrats. Today is Tuesday, May 31st, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you guys got some rest over the holiday weekend and got to spend some time with family, remembering the generations of service people who have given their lives in the line of duty. And I know some folks who just recognize it as a day to remember all of their family members who are no longer with us. So I hope you got to spend some time with family, telling great stories and all that kind of good stuff, because now it's time for us to get back to work. So today is May 31st. Today we take time to acknowledge that 101 years ago today on this date, Tulsa, Oklahoma experienced a race massacre that took over 35 blocks of a section of Tulsa that was a prosperous Black community, thriving, and with the intent of running Black folks out of Tulsa. And they used whatever excuse that they could. And as I'm doing my research, I'm reminded of this was just. Now, what happened in Tulsa was awful and horrible, and I don't want to minimize that, but it was happening all over the country. And it wasn't just happening to African Americans, but this was the same time that the Osage murders were happening as well. And we have to acknowledge that as well, because that's part of Oklahoma history. But today, on the 31st of May, we mark the anniversary of the horrific race massacre. And the survivors and the descendants have yet to receive full reparations. I know that Representative Regina Goodwin, whose district Greenwood is in right now, worked this year diligently in the legislature to get the scholarships that were promised 20 years ago to ramp those up as part of the reparations, right? Giving to the descendants of the race massacre, giving them a leg up towards their education. That's a step towards reparations, but not fully reparations. It's the 31st also marks the last day of AANHPI Awareness Month. This is the month where we recognize the accomplishments of our Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders month. So AANHPI Awareness Month ends today. Now, last week I was pretty emotional, and for that I kind of apologize. Because I don't like to show my emotions. I do not apologize for my emotions. Last week I was pretty emotional about the shootings, right? That we barely got all the folks buried from the grocery store and in New York and the church in California. And then we had elementary school students and teachers die in Texas at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. And then and I said last week that I was upset because even though it happened in Texas, that it was going to happen here in Oklahoma. And this weekend, there were 7 people injured and 1 person murdered, gunned down in Taft, Oklahoma, which is over in Muskogee County. There were over 50 people at a Memorial Day celebration. And the lady who died was just leaving her house, and the celebration was on her street. And so she was collateral damage. It wasn't aimed at her. It wasn't meant for her, but it got her. She was a 39-year-old woman who was just leaving her house during a celebration while folks were fighting, and she is now dead. The 7 folks who were injured range in ages from 9 years old all the way to 56 years old. This is where we are, folks. Please don't say around me that this isn't who we are, because it is. It just is. So what do we have? We have a grocery store, a church, an elementary school, and a festival, all within the last 21 days. This is who we are. This is who we are. The shooter in the Taft incident did actually turn himself in, but the conversation about common sense gun laws can't be over. But we don't want to be in distress. We cannot be in distress. So a little light happened last week. I didn't talk very much about it because I was caught up in the shooting. The Republican senators in our state wrote a scathing letter to our governor about the budget. They've labeled him as largely absent from the budget process, that he's taking credit for the work of the legislature, and that he threw a temper tantrum. So our governor is catching it from all quarters, and I'm glad. It is about time that people wake up and understand why we need to replace our current governor. We need a budget that reflects what we care about. We care about education. We care about people having a chance to make a go at it, economic opportunity. We care about healthcare. And these things are absent from our budget. And I'm glad that our state legislators are aware of it and are in special session now to get that fixed. So back to what can you do? What can you do? Today is the 31st. This Friday is June 3rd. June 3rd. June 3rd is the deadline to be registered to vote and able to participate in the primary elections on June 28th. So if you're not registered, or if you're watching me, I'm hoping you're registered, but you know someone who's not registered, they have until this Friday. Don't wait till 4:30 and go to a tag agency, but they have until this Friday to get registered to vote to be able to participate in the primary elections. So make sure you're registered and make sure everybody you know is registered to vote so they can participate in the primary. And then once they register, they can request their absentee ballot and they can have their ballot in hand to do their research or cast it, as I will be casting mine. Another thing that you can do is make sure that you are the best prepared to help candidates, right? I've been telling you that you can drive them around, you can door knock yourself, you can donate money, you can donate your time by doing phone banks or writing postcards. They have all kinds. Some of them need data entry help. They have all kinds of things that they need help with. But in order to be the best volunteer, there's training. We have some training coming up. It's being put on, I think it's by the DNC. It's called Track to 2022. You can go out to our website, okdemocrats.org, and sign up for that. Events.democrats.org. My apologies. Events.democrats.org. And you can sign up for this training, and it will train you to be able to help candidates get elected. Because a lot of people are wringing their hands wondering what they can do. And I'm so glad to hear that people are ready to actually jump into action. So you can do all of those things. Reach out to a candidate and ask what help they need. Do they need a phone bank? Do they need postcards? Do they need money? Do they need somebody to drive them around? All of these things are things that they can need help with. Or you can go to this training and you can get a little background so that you can help. You can be a more informed helper. But I'm telling you, they'll take your raw help should you give them a call. So go out to events.organize.org and sign up, or reach out to your favorite candidate, events.democrats.org. Yeah. Click on event, sign up for that, or reach out to your favorite candidate. If you don't know how to reach out to your candidate, go to okdemocrats.org, candidates, look up the candidates. We have their contact information there. Reach out to the candidates and tell them that you want to help, because I will tell you all weekend long, I got calls, texts, DMs, Alicia, I need help on my campaign. So they need help. Just about every candidate you call is going to need help. So reach out. okdemocrats.org/candidates. Click on the candidate, reach out. They all have volunteer pages. Sign up to the volunteers. Somebody will call you, and that's how you can help. So that's what you can do. That is your homework, is to go find a candidate to help specifically. All righty, guys. Thanks for joining me. It's a short week, so you know it's a long week. I'll see you back tomorrow at 4:15. Have a good one.